When you think of classic French cuisine, images of elegant pastries, bustling Parisian cafes, and the comforting scent of freshly baked bread might come to mind. Yet, among these culinary icons, there's a dish that stands out for its simplicity and irresistible decadence: the Croque Monsieur. Pronounced Croque Monsieur, this toasted ham and cheese sandwich is the epitome of comfort food, wrapped in a sophisticated French embrace. Tonight, let's embark on a delicious journey and savor the art of making an authentic Croque Monsieur right in your own kitchen. Imagine the scene. A golden, crispy crust gives way to warm, melting cheese and savory ham, all bound together by a luscious béchamel sauce. This is not your ordinary sandwich. The Croque Monsieur is a masterpiece of texture and flavor, perfect for a cozy dinner, an indulgent brunch, or even a late-night treat. And the best part? You don't need to be a professional chef to create this French favorite. With a few simple ingredients and a little culinary magic, you'll be sinking your teeth into a homemade Croque Monsieur in no time. Let's begin with the essentials. The backbone of any great Croque Monsieur is the bread. Traditionally, the French use pain de mie, a soft, square-shaped white bread with a tender crumb. If that's not available, opt for high-quality white sandwich bread or brioche. What matters most is that the bread is sturdy enough to hold the filling and soak up the creamy sauce without falling apart. Slice it thickly, about ½ an inch, to ensure a good balance between crispiness and softness. Next comes the ham. Seek out the best quality ham you can find, something delicately smoked or simply cooked, thinly sliced, and not too salty. The ham should complement the cheese, not overpower it. After all, balance is key in French cuisine. Now, let's talk cheese. Gruyere is the traditional choice, prized for its nutty flavor and excellent melting properties. If Gruyere is hard to find, Emmental, or a good quality Swiss cheese, makes a fine substitute. Grate the cheese by hand for the best melt and texture in your sandwich. But what truly elevates the Croque Monsieur from an ordinary ham and cheese sandwich is the addition of béchamel sauce. This silky, creamy white sauce adds a luxurious richness, binding the layers together and ensuring every bite is moist and flavorful. Making béchamel is easier than you might think. Begin by melting butter in a small saucepan over medium heat. Add an equal amount of flour and whisk until the mixture bubbles but doesn't brown. This is your roux. Slowly pour in warm milk, whisking constantly to avoid lumps. As the sauce thickens, season it with a pinch of salt, a dash of white pepper, and a hint of freshly grated nutmeg. Cook until the béchamel coats the back of a spoon, then remove from heat. Now, it's time to assemble your Croque Monsieur. Lay out slices of bread on a clean surface. Spread a thin layer of béchamel on each slice. This ensures the sandwich stays moist and flavorful throughout. On half of the slices, add a generous layer of grated cheese, followed by a few slices of ham, then a bit more cheese. Top with the remaining bread slices. Béchamel side down, but we're not done yet. To achieve that signature golden crust, spread another thin layer of béchamel on the tops of the sandwiches, then sprinkle with more grated cheese. This double dose of sauce and cheese is what gives the Croque Monsieur its irresistible, bubbly finish. Place the assembled sandwiches on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Slide them under a preheated broiler or into a hot oven, and watch as the cheese melts and the tops turn gloriously golden brown. The scent that fills your kitchen will be enough to transport you straight to the heart of Paris. When the Croque Monsieur emerges from the oven, let it cool for a moment. The cheese will be molten, the bread crisp and toasty, and the béchamel bubbling gently at the edges. Slice each sandwich in half and listen for that satisfying crunch as your knife glides through the crust. As you take your first bite, savor the combination of flavors and textures: the salty ham, the creamy sauce, the gooey cheese, and the crisp bread all coming together in perfect harmony. This is more than a sandwich. It's a celebration of French culinary tradition, crafted with love and enjoyed at your own table. For a classic Parisian touch, serve your Croque Monsieur with a simple green salad dressed in a light vinaigrette. The freshness of the greens provides the perfect counterpoint to the rich, cheesy sandwich. Perhaps add a glass of crisp white wine, or a sparkling lemonade if you prefer. Let yourself linger at the table, as the French do, savoring every bite and every moment. If you're feeling adventurous, you can even try a variation known as the Croque Madame. Simply top your finished Croque Monsieur with a perfectly fried or poached egg. The runny yolk cascades over the sandwich, adding another layer of deliciousness and making the dish even more indulgent. The magic of the Croque Monsieur lies in its adaptability. It's a dish that welcomes creativity. Try adding a smear of Dijon mustard to the inside of the sandwich for a subtle kick, or a sprinkle of fresh thyme or chives for a herbal note. Some like to use a mixture of cheeses, combining Gruyere with sharp cheddar or creamy mozzarella for a different flavor profile. The possibilities are endless, limited only by your imagination and what you have on hand. Yet, at its core, the Croque Monsieur is about comfort and satisfaction. It's the kind of meal that brings people together, whether you're sharing it with family, friends, or simply treating yourself after a long day. It's proof that even the simplest ingredients can create something truly extraordinary when prepared with care and attention. As you set the table and prepare to enjoy your homemade Croque Monsieur, take a moment to appreciate the small joys, the warmth of the kitchen, the enticing aroma of melting cheese, the anticipation of that first delicious bite. In a world that often moves too fast, there's something profoundly satisfying about slowing down, making a meal from scratch, and savoring it with all your senses. So tonight, as you lift your Croque Monsieur to your lips, remember that you're not just enjoying a sandwich, you're partaking in a culinary tradition with roots that stretch back over a century. You're bringing a taste of France into your home and creating memories that linger long after the last crumb has disappeared. Bon appétit!